So, I'm 27, male, and I've been working as a bartender on a luxury cruise line for the past 4 years. Let me tell you, this job is equal parts glamour and grit. By day, I'm mixing Aperol spritzes under Caribbean sunsets for guests sipping champagne in designer sunglasses. By night, I'm dodging verbal grenades from people who think all-inclusive means, I own you. You see, when you're on vacation, some folks shed their manners like old skin. They forget that behind the white jacket and polished smile is a human being, not a butler, not a punching bag, just someone trying to do their job with dignity. And then, she boarded. I'll call her Karen. Not because it's fair, but because honestly, there's no better word. She stepped onto the ship like she owned the ocean itself, designer luggage, oversized sunglasses, voice sharp enough to cut crystal. With her was her husband, quiet, exhausted looking, and 2 teenagers glued to their phones, clearly wishing they were anywhere else. From the moment she walked into my bar on Deck 7, she made it known, she was elite. I know people in corporate, she announced to no one in particular, snapping her fingers twice in the air like I was a dog she'd trained. Tell them Sarah Kensington is on board. They'll want to comp my drinks. I smiled politely. Of course, Ms. Kensington. Can I get you started with something? She leaned in, eyes narrowed. The usual. You know, the signature cocktail I had last time. Now, here's the thing, this was her first cruise. I'd already checked the manifest. No prior sailings. No loyalty tier. Not even a points account. I'd love to make it for you, I said, but I'll need to know what's in it. Her face twisted like I'd insulted her ancestors. If you were trained properly, she hissed, you'd already know. All right. Challenge accepted. I crafted something tropical, passion fruit, coconut rum, a float of elderflower, garnished with orchid and edible gold leaf. It looked like liquid sunset. She took one sip, and her expression curdled. This, she said, voice dripping with contempt, tastes like regret and incompetence. I didn't flinch. My apologies. Let me make you something else, on the house. I swapped it for a classic French 75, crisp, elegant, impossible to mess up. She drank it in silence, then stormed off. 10 minutes later, my manager pulled me aside. Karen had filed a complaint, the bartender was rude and refused to fix his mistake. Thankfully, my boss, Captain Ruiz, a man who's seen every shade of human nonsense, just chuckled. She's bluffing. I know your work, Mateo. Don't sweat it. But Karen wasn't done. The next afternoon, during peak happy hour, she staggered into the bar, clearly 3 sheets to the wind, demanding a round of free top-shelf tequila for her family. My husband, she slurred, jabbing a manicured finger toward the buffet line, is a platinum member. He wasn't. Not even close. Silver? No. Bronze? Still no. He was on the basic package, same as 80% of the ship. I'm sorry, I said calmly, but complimentary drinks are only for sweet guests or verified loyalty members. That's when the volcano erupted. I spend more money on this ship than your entire salary, she shrieked, drawing stares from every corner of the lounge. Then, click, she pulled out her phone and started filming. Let's see what corporate thinks of this attitude. My pulse spiked, but I kept my voice steady. Ma'am, please stop recording. You're disturbing other guests. Big mistake. Oh, now you're threatening me, she screeched, waving her phone like a weapon. You probably spit in my drink. She turned to the crowd. Does anyone else feel unsafe? This man has no respect for paying customers. But the passengers? They just looked away. One older gentleman actually closed his menu and whispered to his wife, "Good Lord, not again." Later that evening, security flagged me down. Karen had escalated, filing a formal grievance claiming I'd called her a drunk cow. I nearly laughed. Because here's the kicker, every bar on this ship has discreet overhead cameras. Audio and visual. Always on. Management pulled the footage. Played it back in the office with Karen present. There I was, calm, professional, offering replacements with a smile. And there she was, red-faced, slurring, making up insults that never happened. When the truth hit her, her bravado crumbled. She burst into tears. I just wanted an apology, she sobbed. You made me feel unsafe. My manager exchanged a look with the head of guest relations. They'd seen this script before. But Karen wasn't finished. The next night was the captain's cocktail party, the crown jewel of the cruise. Black tie optional. Live jazz. Champagne towers. And there, in the middle of it all, Karen marched straight toward me like I'd burned her passport. Dozens of guests watched in stunned silence as she stopped 2 feet from the bar, raised her glass of rose, and hurled it at my feet. The shatter echoed like a gunshot. I hope you enjoy unemployment, you little bartender boy, she spat, voice trembling with rage. And then, fate smiled. Because standing just 3 feet away, holding a flute of Krug, was the actual captain of the ship. He didn't say a word. Just nodded to security. 2 crew members appeared instantly. Karen was escorted off the deck, still screaming about injustice and lawsuits. The next morning, corporate issued a statement, after reviewing all evidence, video logs, witness accounts, prior behavior, Karen and her family were banned for life from all sailings under the company's flag. She tried one last Hail Mary, an online complaint claiming I'd orchestrated a smear campaign against her. My boss read it aloud at the staff meeting and laughed so hard he choked on his coffee. I thought it was over. But a week after we docked, I opened TikTok, and there it was. A viral video titled, "Rude Cruise Bartender Humiliates Paying Customer." Yep. It was her. She'd edited the footage to make it look like I'd yelled at her, cut out all context, added dramatic music. But karma moves fast on the internet. Within hours, passengers from our cruise started flooding the comments. I was there. She threw a drink at him. She lied about being elite. Crew confirmed it. She screamed at a 60-year-old waiter for bringing the wrong bread. The backlash was brutal. She deleted the video within 24 hours. Now, my co-workers call me the Karen Slayer. I didn't ask for that title, but I won't apologize for it either. Still, my mom called me last night, voice soft with worry. Mijo, she said, you represent the company. Even when people are wrong, you keep them happy. An apology costs nothing. But here's what she doesn't understand, dignity isn't negotiable. I didn't set out to embarrass Karen. I didn't want her banned. But I did choose to stand firm when she crossed every line of decency. And in doing so, I protected not just myself, but every crew member who's ever been treated like furniture. So, am I the asshole? I don't think so. Sometimes, the most respectful thing you can do is refuse to be disrespected.